Pissed right now. This is the fifth take on part one of What If Deku Was Betrayed. And the only thing I have to say is like part one, part 0.5, you didn't tell me what you want the ship to be, so I'm making a harem and all that stuff. So yeah. I'm not gonna ask you to subscribe, I'm not asking you to like, I'm just asking you if you to enjoy what you're hearing and stuff like that. And I'm gonna try to speak louder because I noticed that about the video from last time. So yeah. So Izuku, he's in class and he's not getting bullied at the moment because, well, it's the last day of school. They're in high school right now, and I'm making you way at college in this. So Izuku, currently in his head, he's thinking the class is gonna bully me when they hear what I want to do after high school. So that's exactly right. So Izuku, he is currently in his head thinking, ugh, I'm still gonna get bullied after school today. And that's what happens. So yeah, the teacher walks in. He's as cheerful as ever because it's the last day of school, and he gets to support his students from the back in their careers to be heroes or whatever they are in the future. So teacher comes in and says, "Class, sit down," because they were just running around and stuff like that and talking to their friends. And Bakugo, he's currently taking a nap, and yeah, and then he gets up. So the teacher says, I'm gonna have you guys fill out these papers to tell me what you want to be in the future. But then one of the students was about to say, "Oh, but teach, you already know what we want to be." But the teacher says, "I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm gonna stop you there real quick." And the student says, "Why?" The teacher says, "I already know what you want to be, so I won't have you fill out these sheets." And he throws the paper in the air like he does in the anime. And yeah, so most of their quirks are mutation quirks, so we're not really gonna talk about that. So yeah, so we're they're doing that and stuff like that, and we don't really care. So yeah, so yeah, so Izuku, he's minding his own business, saying the class is gonna bully him when they know what he wants. The teacher, he's naming out some random high schools, and the teacher, he gets to Izuku and he looks and he says, "Oh," and he looks at Izuku and he says, um, and no, he says Bakugo. He looked at Bakugo, my bad. So he says, "Bakugo, I see you want to go to UA," and Bakugo says, "Hell yeah, don't stick me in with these E-listers." Instead of saying B-listers or whatever he says E-listers because he thinks that they can't be heroes whatsoever. So yeah, so yeah. So Izuku, he doesn't notice that the teacher was talking to Bakugo and stuff like that. So Bakugo, he's currently rambling on about I'm the best, I'm the only one that's worthy to be, well, to go to UA and stuff like that. So he's disrespecting everybody in the class. The class, they're thinking, "Oh my god, he's so goddamn cocky, I want him to die." And no, they say not die, but get beat up once. So yeah, they're thinking about that. And Izuku, he is currently in his mind thinking, class is gonna bully me, the class is gonna bully me, the class is gonna bully me, the class is gonna bully me. So yeah. So while the teacher is rambling, while the teacher is skimming through the papers, he sees Izuku's and he looks at it and he says, "Oh," and he says, "Oh, Izuku, I see you want to be a hero." And Izuku says, "Yeah," and he says, "I see you also put that you want to be in UA." And Izuku says, "Yeah, yes, sir." And Bakugo, he hears this, he freezes and he looks at Izuku or Deku and says, and blows up his desk and says, "Oi, Deku, you really think you can be a hero? You useless piece of crap." And yeah, and yeah. So, Izuku, he is currently not having the best time of his life. He's practically having the worst. And yeah. So yeah, the class, they start laughing because they heard Izuku, he wants to be a hero without a quirk. So after school comes, the teacher dips because he knows what's about to happen. And yeah, so he dips, and the class talking shit. I'm gonna say this right off the bat, they're talking shit. And they start bullying Deku and stuff like that. So then After that, they start leaving and say, Deku, you can't even be a hero without a quirk. You're just gonna get bullied in UA, so why do you even bother trying to go? And stuff like that. So yeah, Izuku, he's currently pissed, mad, and so forth. And then he goes to then it goes to Bakugo and his gang's turn. And they start, well, bullying him, of course, but in a different way. The one with the blue, the one, no, not blue hair, shit, what am I talking about? The one with the ability to stretch his fingers out, he takes his fingers, he stretches them, and he gets the brightest idea in the world. He shoves them up Izuku's ass. And yeah, he shoves them up Izuku's ass. And Izuku, he is in pain and he's thinking, ow, it won't be easy to watch this when I get home. And Izuku, he is in pain. So then it comes to the one with wings. If you haven't noticed in the anime when they were kids, it showed that his wings had horns on them and stuff like that. So yeah, his wings have horns on them. Horns, I don't care. It's either spikes or horns. I don't really care which one it is that you prefer. So yeah. So Izuku, he is in pain. He wants to cry. So here's what happened. Izuku, he's not having the best time. Izuku's not having the best time because, well, he's getting the shitty shit bullied out of him. And yeah. So, yeah. So Izuku's getting bullied and he practically wants to give up and stuff like that. But he doesn't because, well, he's Izuku. So then the one with wings, he takes his right wing that has the horn on it, and he rams it into Izuku's left arm. Izuku, he feels pain, but he does not yell out. And then he takes his right side. No, yeah, he takes his left wing and rams it into Izuku's right shoulder. I'm sorry because this is coming off the top of my head, so I have to think for a split second, and I'm not going to pause. I want you guys to know, like, I want you to well, see how hard I'm trying for you guys, because this is an original series for me, so I'm going to make this an original. I'm not taking this off of anyone and stuff like that. The power I give him is actually a power I created myself or thought of. So yeah, so Izuku, he's getting bullied. He is getting bullied a lot. And yeah, and then Izuku, he's about to yell out until Bakugo punches him in the stomach. So yeah, as I said, Bakugo punches him in the stomach. Izuku, he's crying right now. He's currently crying. And yeah, so Izuku, he's currently thinking, damn, where did I go wrong? Stuff like that. So he's getting bullied and he wants to give up. He really wants to give up, but he can't. So yeah, Izuku, he's crying on the inside. So Bakugo, he says you can't be a hero and stuff like that, explodes him, and yeah. So Izuku, instead of well, giving up, he actually feels like this is motivation for him. So yeah. So Izuku, he thinks, you know what? I'll use this opportunity to make everything better for me and stuff like that and show them that I could be a hero. So, yeah, that's what happens. And Izuku, he is currently in class. He's currently in class and stuff like that. And yeah, he's still in the class. Bakugo, he still explodes Izuku's notebook. And yeah, so Izuku, instead of Bakugo exploding it just one time, he explodes it 3 times this time to make it so that Izuku has a hard time writing in it because he knows Izuku. He writes about quirks and stuff like that. So, yeah. So, Izuku, he He's done getting bullied. He has a hard time getting up, but he still manages to get up, and he gets up, and yeah. So Izuku, he he goes to that fountain, that side fountain by the school, and picks up the notebook and stuff like that. Everything happens as canon, so I don't really have to say what happens. So he still gets hurt. He gets attacked by the sledge villain. He meets All Might. He grabs onto All Might and stuff like that. And he sees, well, Small Might or All Talk. And yeah. So Izuku, he is currently in tremendous pain. And yeah, stuff like that happens. And he gets the quirk from All Might. Stuff like that. So yeah. And All Might, he gets the smart idea. I want to give him my quirk, but not right now. You know when it happens. I don't really have to say. So he hears an explosion. He goes to the explosion, sees Bakugo about to die, and he says, "Crap, I can't let him die." Because he remembers his mom's gonna probably yell at Izuku saying, "You could have saved him," and stuff like that. Or some shit like that. And he's like, ugh, damn it. So yeah, he runs and does the same thing. All Might sees this, and he's like a worthy candidate for One for All. And so he runs to Izuku after the incident, and he tells him about One for All. And Izuku, he accepts. Everything happens, 10 months period, stuff like that. So yeah. So Izuku, so yeah, everything happens. But I'm gonna say a slight twist to it. Nah, I'm not gonna do no slight twists. So he goes to take the UA entrance exam, and the way Izuku trips is gonna be like a sad way. He's gonna have the saddest way of tripping. Izuku, he has the biggest grin on his face and stuff like that. He has the biggest grin on his face. He's more confident. Well, no, scratch that. He doesn't have a grin because, well, he's depressed. So we're not gonna talk about that. So yeah, he's happy as hell. Yeah. So yeah. So Izuku, he goes and he trips. After all that hyping himself up and, well, feeling confident in himself, he trips. So yeah, he trips. That happens, and yeah, Uraraka saves him again. Ho ho, Ho Chaco, bitch Chaco. It doesn't really matter what you call her. I'm calling her Ho Chaco because I really don't like her. So yeah. Well, it's not like I don't like her. It's just that in this series, I'm going to hate her. So yeah, that happens. So she is currently getting bullied. No, not bullied. He sees Bakugo. Bakugo says, "Deku, you can't be a hero," and stuff like that. And Izuku, he doesn't really care, so he ignores him. And so forth. So, yeah, that happens. And yeah. And they take the UA entrance exam. The same thing happens. You already know. And yeah. So, they go to school. They go to school next day. Because, well, I said so. I'm god of this what if. So yeah, that happens. Izuku, he sends her to you know what, and yeah. So yeah. So Izuku, oof. What am I thinking? I'm retarded as hell. Oof, I didn't really say anything. He just sends Uraraka to Recovery Girl and stuff like that. Recovery Girl recovers Uraraka to full health after he got kissed and, well, the living doo-doo slapped out of him. But yeah, that's not it for now. So yeah. So Izuku, he goes home. He's kind of feeling down. He thinks that he didn't make it because the only thing he did was punch a massive robot who was under a girl and stuff like that. So yeah, he learned from All Might that All Might was gonna be there and stuff like that. So yeah, everything happens. Next day, they go to school. He sees Uraraka. He found out that he passed later than because entrance ceremony and shit like that. Let's just say they actually went to the entrance ceremony, and yeah, so they go and they go to class 1A. I'm actually still self-conscious about how Izuku got into class 1A, but yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. So he gets into class 1A, and Aizawa, he is currently sleeping on the floor, having the best snap of his life. Yeah. So Izuku, he's hella confused why there is a man in a sleeping bag on the floor, but he ignores it and goes to his seat, where Bakugo and Ida are arguing, and he sits behind Bakugo. And Bakugo sees this and he says, Oi Deku, how the hell did you get into UA, and who the hell said you can come, and why the fuck are you near me? And yeah, so Izuku doesn't really care. He says, I just want to sit here. And Bakugo says, whatever. And yeah, life goes as always with Deku. So yeah. So they go. And so forth. So Izuku, he is currently in the class doing whatever he does. So as I was saying, they just sat there and did their stuff, and yeah. So Izuku, he is currently, well, minding his own business. So Uraraka comes in, sees Deku, and she says, "It's you who saved me." And she goes and says, "Thank you." Izuku says, "You're welcome," and stuff like that. So he goes and starts beating the ever-living doo-doo out of him. And yeah. So Izuku. No. Oh, I'm so fucking dumb. I'm paying attention. Sorry, guys. Because remember, this is at the top of my head, so I'm going off track here. So, yeah. So, Izuku has been friends with Tenya Ida, and Hochako Uraraka for 2 weeks now. So, yeah. So, on the third week, I think I'm going to say on Wednesday, the class sees a video. Like, so certain girls have been keeping a watch on Izuku. Well, not tabs. No, they've been observing him because they're interested in him. Stuff like that. And those people being Kendo, Momo Yaoyorozu, not Hochako, stuff like that. Damn it, I'm so slow. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. Mina Ashido, Momo Yaoyorozu, Kyokujiro, Hagakore, and Suyu Asui, Kendo, and Riku. He's friends with pro heroes because, well, they find a liking to him, have a liking to him. Those pro heroes being Ryuku, Miracle, Mount Lady, because they hang out with Narumi, also known as Midnight. She decided with Mount Lady that they both have a wonderful body and they stop fighting. So yeah, that happens and life goes as normal. So Izuku, he does not really care about the bullying no more. And yeah, so yeah, he still gets bullied by Bakugo, obviously, because he still does. So the heroes versus villains thing happened. The same thing happened. That happened in the first week. So Ida and Uraraka, they switch up on Deku on third week on Thursday, the next day. And then I'm gonna say 2 or 3 weeks. Nah. A week later, on Thursday, Aizawa walks in and says, "Sit down and be quiet. I have an announcement to make." And he makes the announcement about the USJ. Right when he says USJ, the dumbasses in the class, they look at Deku. They look at Izuku Midoriya. And Izuku, he doesn't notice this, like, at all. He's too busy muttering to himself. And yeah. They're thinking, oh, he's muttering about how he told the villains about what happened. He probably heard what Aizawa said, and he's probably getting ready to attack us from the back and stuff like that. stuff like that. And Oraka's thinking to herself that fucking backstab her. I can't believe I actually liked him and stuff like that. Anita says I can't believe I was friends with him. So yeah. So he is currently getting bullied. No, not bullied. Actually, yeah, he's getting bullied by everyone in the school except for Kendo, Monoma, and Kendo, Monoma, Riku, and the people I said basically. Aizawa believes it's not him, so does Midnight, and Hazashi, also known as Mike, and Nezu. All Might thinks that it's him, but he lets him have one for all for a little bit. If you saw that, well, you didn't see it fully. If you saw part of that, though, that's actually going to be one of Deku's pets after he gets his power. So, yeah. So, Izuku, he's currently getting bullied by Class 1A because they think that he is the thing. But that's not everyone in Class 1A. It's actually just, well, the people that believe, like, it's him. So, yeah. So, they do that. And stuff like that happens. Yeah. So, it's the day of the, it's the day for you know what, and they go. They're talking on the bus. Sue does not ask Midoriya about what his quirk is this time because she knows if she does, Izuku, everybody's probably gonna be like, oh, he's probably gonna use that quirk to betray us and beat us and hit us or something like that, or even torture us after he joins his villain friends. So yeah, they get there. And we're just gonna say Kirishima, he didn't know about this. He didn't know about this. He's one of the people that believe Izuku is innocent. He didn't know about this. He didn't get the load and stuff like that. Cause he was, let's just say he was out of town with his family, something like that. So yeah. So he was out of town. You know, Kirishima, she's the villain. She says, oh wow, we're even fighting fake villains. Aizawa looks back and he sees damn. He sees the villains and yeah. He says, Kirishima, those are not fake villains, and thank you for pointing that out. God damn. And yeah, hull up. Sorry, had to get water. So yeah. So Aizawa jumps down, starts beating villain butt, and yeah. So that happens. And the class, they are currently hating on Deku. Deku doesn't notice this, because of course Deku, he is muttering to himself as always. And yeah, that happens. So yeah. So Kurogiri sees Izuku, the person that they framed. No, actually, I said I was gonna give him a gruesome death. Yeah. Very gruesome. Yeah. Alright. So, Izuku, he's gonna have a gruesome death. So, they all get teleported as normal. Sue does the plan, but has to force Mineta to do it. She thinks Izuku is innocent, so she doesn't do that shit where as others do, where they ignore Deku and stuff like that. She doesn't do that. She actually listens to his plan and does it. So yeah. So she does it and stuff like that. So yeah, they get back, they see Aizawa getting dogged. Izuku, he tries to stop the Nomu from beating the living doo-doo out of Aizawa. Like the living doo-doo out of him. I'm not saying shit, because there's probably gonna be kids watching this. Oof, I already said shit. Well, doesn't matter. Kids, if you hear this, ignore what I said. You didn't hear it, alright? So yeah. So, he's currently getting dogged. Like, dog. So, Izuku, he's running. Mineta takes 4 balls, throws them at Izuku. Izuku, he thinks it's Mineta trying to help him, but it's not. It's him trying to kill him. Well, sabotage him. So, yeah. So, what he does is send 4 balls. 2 on his shoulder. No. 1 on his left shoulder, 1 on his right shoulder. 1 on his left, like behind the kneecaps, and the same thing for the right. And yeah. So, they do that. So Tomura Shigaraki, I don't really care. Tenko, I don't really care which one you want to call him. So he sees Izuku running to save Aizawa, and he says, "Nomu, grab that brat." And Nomu grabs him from behind, which was a fatal mistake for Izuku and Mineta, because that's probably going to be one of the reasons why Mineta gets killed by Izuku. Nah, he's not going to kill Izuku. Yeah, he kills Izuku. And he does not get sent to jail for that. I don't know how, but he doesn't. So yeah. So he grabs Izuku from behind and he says, "If any of you move, I'll kill him." And the class says, "Go ahead. We don't care. Kill him right here, right now. Right in front of us." And yeah, that happens. Yes, that happens. And stuff like that happens. So Izuku, he is about to get hurt. Badly. Badly. So he says, "Wow, it only took them one video and they think that he's a villain. Oh my god, they're so disgusting. And they call themselves heroes. Ugh. Can't believe I had faith in All Might as a kid." So yeah, that happens, and yeah. Izuku, he gets bullied. Izuku. Tomura sees the sticky balls and knows their effects thanks to the files that were stolen by Twice. Hehehe. Twice stole some files. Twice stole some wonderful, beautiful files from Izuku Midoriya. Oh. Yes. So yeah. So yeah, you already know how Twice's power works and stuff like that. You know the possibility, so yeah. So yeah. So Tomura, he puts 5 fingers on Izuku's shoulder, disintegrates it, and the same thing to his kneecaps. Izuku, he is yelling. Tomura, he, let's just say before he went, All for One gave him like a pocket space or something like that, like some random pocket space. Gave him some random pocket space where he could store things, and Tomura decided, let's put a scalpel in there for people's hands and a knife for their legs, and he does exactly that. And yeah, he does that, and that happens. So that happens, and so forth. Izuku, he is yelling in agony. He is yelling in agony. So right as that happens, All Might comes in and stuff like that. And the Nomu, he just drops Midoriya. Midoriya falls to it with a thump, and he is in pain. And All Might, All Might takes him, and no, he doesn't take Midoriya. He beats the ever-loving Dudu out of the Nomu, and he takes Midoriya and punches him, like 100% punches him in the stomach all the way to a wall. That, and Izuku breaks he breaks Izuku's not spinal cord, ribs. He breaks his ribs, stuff like that. He breaks Izuku's ribs, and Izuku, he is yelling. He's not yelling in agony. He says, "Ah, why did All Might do this to me?" And yeah, the pro heroes come in after that, and Naomi sees Midoriya on the floor, and she starts crying, and she starts crying a little bit, and yeah, she sees All Might walking towards him. She thinks that All Might is walking to save him when he's doing the complete opposite. But we're not gonna talk about that, are we? Yeah, we're not. So yeah, she goes to Midoriya, and stuff like that happen. So yeah, that happens. So yeah, he got the ever loving do beat out of him, and yeah. So yeah. So Izuku, he is currently crying on the inside, and while All Might is going, he says, "Young Bakugo, young Ida, and young Uraraka, come with me." They already know what happened. They planned it with All Might. Of course they did. Of course they did. Talk about fake friends. So yeah, they go to Midoriya. Stuff like that happens. Stuff like that happens, and hold up for a second. I'm gonna have to pause it. I have something to do. Okay, guys, I'm back. So yeah, like I was saying, Bakugo, Ida, Pochako were taken to where Izuku is, and All Might already told them about One for All and stuff like that, and he said, Bakugo, I'm gonna give it to you. And Oraka says, I have a plan. I know he liked me, so I'm gonna kiss Ida right in front of him. And Ida, it's gonna be like a betrayal to him because I was his best friend, stuff like that. So yeah, that happens. So they go to Izuku. They're thinking we have the best plan in mind. Yeah, but they don't. Sadly, they don't. So yeah. So yeah. Izuku, he is currently crying to himself in his head. Not physically shown, but in his head. So yeah. Izuku, he's crying and all and stuff. Yeah, those four go to him and he says, Young Midoriya, I will be taking my quirk back. And he takes it and he says, I can't believe I trusted a villain with my quirk. And Bakugo comes up and says, Yeah, nerd, I can't believe I used to bully a villain. Huh. Makes me wonder what you're gonna do to me in the future. What, you're gonna kill me? And yeah, and Izuku, she says, No, why would I do that? And he says, Stop lying, you damn nerd. I know you're planning to kill me in the future. And Izuku says, No, I'm not. And yeah. So yeah, that happens. And he says, Oh, Deku-kun, look. Or Deku, to be exact. She goes in front of him. She she basically she sticks her ass out, goes in front of Ida and kisses him on the lips, and Ida says, Yeah, man, I stole your girl. And Uraka says, I never loved him anyways. And yeah, they're getting their hopes up and stuff like that. Getting hype, like, oh, he never loved you. Oh, that's crazy, and stuff like that. Yeah, so Bakugo, he's having the time of his life. He's like, and before they leave, what they do is Ida kicks him. Ida kicks him in the leg, All Might in the chest, Uraka in the nuts, and Bakugo explodes his face. And this time he does it with a lot of force. Like he intentionally did it. So yeah. So Izuku, he's like, alright, yeah. So they all leave, and Izuku, he after they all leave, it gets to nighttime. Izuku, he's actually crying to himself, and Izuku, he thinks to himself, and he thinks to himself, and yeah. So Izuku, stuff happens, everything happens. Every messed up shit in the book happens, and yeah. So yeah, that happens. So yeah, that happens. So Izuku, before he dies, he says, if I had one wish before I died, that would be to see Pluto. And suddenly Izuku gets teleported. Cliffhanger. So like we don't know where he gets teleported to. It's somewhere. It's somewhere and stuff like that. So yeah, Izuku, he gets randomly teleported somewhere and stuff like that. So yeah, and oh, if I didn't, yeah, all right. So tell me if you what you want the ship to be or something like that. But like, it's gonna be one of those girls. I said it's gonna be one of those girls, or all of them. Yeah, I'm gonna make it all of them. So yeah. Comment down below if you want any other content in the future, like what if Naruto got isekai, what if he had like a certain power, stuff like that. So yeah. And yeah, bye guys.